Rimworld Wednesday. I am excited but also concerned because this isn't really a continuation of the last episode. This is a brand new episode from the beginning where we have quite some significant changes. Okay, there's a reason for this. The reason is I was treating the game wrongly, or the series wrongly. For the most part, I do reviews of itch.io games, small independent games that nobody's ever heard of, and I was sort of treating this as the same thing, and that's not what I should be doing. That's not what this is about, and it's not where this game really shines. What I should have been doing is treating this game as designed as a storytelling mechanism. That's kind of what this is about. This game is all about telling stories and building the story automatically, sort of fluidly through the gameplay. If that makes sense, it's not about trying to win or lose. It's like D&D, tabletop D&D. You're not there to win against the DM or anything like that. You're there to collectively tell a cool story, and that is what we are going to try to do here. So I've added some mods because I've tried to pick the mods that make more potential for storytelling, so things more complex. Plus a little bit of things to make some stuff easier and a little bit of stuff that makes stuff a little bit more difficult. To try and balance it out to make it more interesting. So that's sort of the goal there. And I've already picked the 4 characters. Going through the clicking reroll in the character creator until we got 4 interesting characters that each have interesting and quite diverse backgrounds, and we can work off their backgrounds and tell the stories about them ourselves. So that's the this is the goal. This is the plan, is to tell something cool. I've literally just clicked finish on all of the building. We're just landing on our new spot here, so let's let the pods land and see where we are and what's happening. There's 4 characters instead of 3 because that makes stuff a little bit quicker. Right, I have picked a mountainous area, as you can see. That has made things quite interesting. We have a nice chokehold here that we can lock off. There's quite a bit of mountain, so I wonder if there is some empty space back there. We have some swamp here. We're in a jungle biome. We have some elephants, and yeah, so this is looking pretty good. We don't have a power thing here, do we? No. Sadly, our closest power thing is there, which is always the thing I always look for first, because it's generating power is quite a trick in this game. We might just have to stack up on the solar panels and the wind farms over there or something like that. But at least this is quite easy to block off from, at least on foot attackers. That's why I like mountainous terrain. So it's not a bad landing. It definitely could be a lot worse. Where are our key elements? Well, there's our shiny robot thing for when we're ready for robots. I want to get into that more. What is that? Oh, some bits of slate wall there. We unfortunately cannot see our mysterious ancient danger artifact thing. That's just granite. Hey, and can we see where the ancient monument is yet? Is it? I have a feeling it's going to be over here somewhere. No. For those of you, is that it? No, it's just a piece of trash. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, who don't know about Rimworld, don't worry about it. There it is. There's ancient fallen monument. Okay, it's a little bit out of the way there, but we'll get to it. So don't worry. We will explain everything soon enough. I shouldn't build my base out here rather than down there. I can still lock off that area as a sort of a safe area. Put some animals in there maybe. How's our growing zone? There's a little bit of greenery there. Yeah, that sounds actually interesting. I'll do that. I'm just going to build my base right here. And we can build a fridge into the region there. Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be interesting. Great. I like it. Cool. Interesting. All right. So before we move on, let us first of all what's that? Is that marshy soil? It kind of ruins that. Oh, maybe I'll build a thingy later to get rid of that. So let us... No, I am getting distracted. Right, back to the story. We're talking about the story. And we're going to talk about our characters. Now this is our leader, I believe. Yes, he is probably the most damaged character I've ever played in this game, because I typically reroll characters until they have some rather more tolerant stats. But this interested me. So, Mr. Saltero. Shav Saltero. Saltero? I guess how that would be pronounced. Saltero. Well, I mean, it's my character. I can pronounce it however I want. Saltero was a privileged prodigy as a child. He was very clever, but he also came from a very wealthy background. As you can see, it meant he didn't do much as a child. So he doesn't know how to grunt. He doesn't haul. He doesn't clean. He doesn't do basic labor. But he's very, very clever. And as such, he is very, very good at doing research, and he's also very enthusiastic, very passionate. That's what the flames mean. He's very passionate about doing social stuff, talking to people. So he's very good at manipulating people, very good at being brilliant. Unfortunately, he doesn't have good medicine. That would have been nice as well, but I suppose as a pampered child, medical stuff, it looks like he's had some training in it, but it's probably just forced lessons that he was taken as a child. He's a little bit artistic. We can get him to do some artwork once research is done. He can do some crafting, so he can make some things. He's been taught to work with his hands, and he's good with animals, so he probably had some pets as a child. The palatial family grounds must have had like a little zoo or something that he worked with. So there's some potential there, but unfortunately he doesn't do a lot of things. He also prefers to be out and about at night. He is Ironworld, so he obviously has inherited that from his family. Whatever made them wealthy, he's picked up something of those pasts, those familial attributes. And he has a chemical interest, so he obviously had a bit of a wild childhood with his wealthy friends. There's probably like a curfew or something in some region that catered to the older people, sort of like they have in Switzerland. So he presumably went to parties with friends and got a taste for the substances. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. But we have some abilities to tone that down, so we'll have a look at those later. Right, as an adult, he was a planetary diplomat. Also had all of those things that he didn't have to do. But he's been quite good at people, and we'll talk about his motivations for coming out here in a bit, whatever we decide those to be. Right, so that is, I suppose, our leader, our erstwhile leader of the group. He's actually 117 years old, but he's only been out of sort of hyper sleep or whatever for 53 years. So he's a 53-year-old man. And for now is a baseliner. Next we have Peter Mirandel von Bergen. He was a soldier experiment. So he was, as a child, he was living in some sort of complex or something, um, being conditioned into trying to be an elite soldier, and it did quite well. He's pretty good at shooting. He's interested in it. He's pretty good at hand-to-hand combat. Also interested in it. Unfortunately, it seems to have given him also, likewise, a taste for drugs. It's probably why he knows Saltero. Maybe they came together in some kind of seedy nightclub looking for their next score. He's a bit trigger happy, so he's quick to start blasting, not particularly accurately. Maybe that's why he didn't do too well as a soldier. He was a soldier eventually, so he unfortunately, because he wasn't a particularly good one, couldn't keep control. The experiment was shut down, and he just got dumped on the street. But he managed to get employment as builders. So good for him. He doesn't do cooking, he doesn't do cleaning, which is a bit sucky. But he's doesn't really match the soldiery things. Soldiers tend to be quite precise about cleaning through just sheer conditioning. But he doesn't do cleaning anymore. He's all about just building and making a mess, I guess. Very, very good at construction. Very, very good at crafting. Good with his hands. He fights, he does things with his hands, he doesn't do much else. A little bit of basic medicine from his soldier training days, and that's the thing. But he's going to be our builder. And also be a problem with Saltero for the drug behaviors, which we'll try and avoid. I think they both know that that's a problem for them, and they don't want to get too involved with that kind of stuff. So we're going to avoid drugs to start off with. Then we have Shield, Ronan Shield Lawless. Good heavens, what a name. He's a Ronan, he's lawless. Right. As a childhood, he was training to be a bodyguard. Born into famously skilled family of bodyguards. He had two mothers, Elena and Victoria, dumping him into bodyguardy stuff. He can cook, which we like. He's really good at cooking, and he's really good with plants due to his training with herbs and so on. So he's our gardener because he knows all about the plants. After his life being trained, clearly he managed to break away from that particular life. I mean, his shooting wasn't great. He was quite interested in and got pretty good at it. But it's been a while, I suppose. He's 34 and since childhood. So he became a bartender, sitting on a space station, chatting to people, being nice to people. Got social skills up. He's kind, which is also probably a bit of a hiccup in his life as a bodyguard. You can't really be kind. Also, he's psychically hypersensitive. If there's psychic effects happening, he gets hit by those. That can be amazing, but it also cannot be great. Anyway, so he's all about our cooking. He's all about our plants, and he's pretty good at the social stuff. Not quite as good as Saltero, but there's a good kind of backup there. Unfortunately, not too much medicine, and he doesn't do art. Apparently being raised as a trainee bodyguard youngling, art is left by the wayside, so no art for him. And finally we have Kiriko Tomboy Morris. As a child, she was a wreckage explorer, so she was living on some kind of rural planet watching the herds, but there were crashed warships, and she continued to go off and have a look at the warships, although apparently she also really liked animals, so and then as an adult she got married. She became a housewife. Unfortunately, she doesn't seem to be married anymore, so I guess split away, or her husband died, something like that. Very unfortunate. Maybe that's what set her on her her path, traveling somewhere. She finally decided, I'm going to take some space trips, and here she was crashing with this lot. She is also quite kind, very nice to people, and she's also volatile. She's not the most mentally stable. Tends to break easily. She's going to be the one who's panicking. She can't shoot at all. Can fight a bit. In fact, do we have anyone who can actually shoot? Okay, Randall can shoot. We should have a handgun around here somewhere. I think I left that in the project. Yeah. Oh no, that's wake up. That's a drug. That's not good. Oh, there it is. So who was it? Randall, was he the one? Yeah, Randall's our shooting expert. So he can pick the revolver. Who is our next closest? Ronan. He gets the knife. Knife is his. No, that didn't do its thing. The others just better stay out of the way in combat. Right, so those are our 4 unfortunates. And now they have crash landed. The ship they were on had some kind of issue, has ripped itself apart. These 4 managed to get into some pods and land here. And they need to now make the best of it. Fortunately, they have some basic survival skills. And we are going to implement those at length. What is that? Oh. Well, you know what? Here is a patch of empty ground. So why don't we... Okay, first of all, let's allow all of our things. We have double the number of packaged survival meals. That was dropped by someone. We have steel. Allow that. Where is our wood? We have some wood. Allow that. Let's try and get rid of these things. I know all about those things. Hide the learning helper because we don't need it. Okay. So let us plan some space out here. How big is this thing? It was a landing area. Let's keep it 8 wide. On the wooden wall. And slap a door in there. We are going to place our primary stockpile zone there. And we are going to make a dumping zone over here just so we can get rid of the stone blocks for now. So let us haul these blocks out the way just so that they're out of our way. We have some concrete, which I don't think is very pretty. No, it's got -1, but we'll rip all that up and replace it with like wood paneling or something soon enough. Okay, so this is our starting space. Let's actually make them work. For the religion, I've gone the same way as I did before. I've oh yeah, Tomboy has the medicine. Did I mention that? I guess as a medic, she, I mean, as a housewife, maybe she went on some first aid courses, found out she really liked it, you know, really got into it, so she's got some medicine skills. Our social guards will be wardening. Entertaining people. Shield is our cook. Let's make him a little more quick to cook over entertaining. I'm not going to have a hunter. Construct, grow, and plants. Mine. I mean, she can mine. We'll leave it on 3. Leave those on 3. Oh no, let's grow. No, we're not going to do that. Is she the only miner? She's the only miner. He can help out when he's too busy. There's our tailor and crafter. She can also do that, but let's leave her out of that for now. Can she not cook? She doesn't have any. Oh, that sucked. Don't need to do art just yet. She can do some of that, and they can all haul, and you can get some research done there. We're going to make the dark study very low priority for now. We'll pick up on that later because that can get interesting. So let's press 1 and get them to doing the things that they need to be doing. Unfortunately, Saltero is not going to be particularly useful for us at this point, but he will pop into high value later. Alright, is there anything else we need to set up? Let's set them all into just low medicine. Okay, we're being told about the monolith. Yes. So there's the monolith. Yeah, the way this thing works, for anybody who doesn't know, is that it's sort of a Cthulhu-esque ancient device. And yeah, you can do research to it and unlock bad things, and sometimes bad stuff can happen and sometimes good stuff. But you know, it's interesting. It's interesting. We'll certainly have fun. Great, there's a body. Alright, construction person. Where are we going to make our graveyard? We'll just stick it out the back here for now. Misk, graves. Speed things up a little bit. I think we're going to have to chop some wood just to get a little bit extra for our constructioner to do his duty over there. Chop the stump as well, because he'll need to make some beds for them, 4 beds just now as well. Alright, so this is our home for the moment. Deconstruct that. I don't know if I'll get anything from it. What we can do is talk about mods a bit. The mods that we have. Well, we have some gardening mods, or a big one called VGB Vegetable Garden. And that just gives us a much wider range of things that we can grow and cook to get out of them. Yeah, it's a pretty cool mod. Has a lot of breadth into it. You'll definitely see where it goes soon enough. I'm a huge fan of it just because of the depth it has. It also affects our clothes crafting and what have you, which is less of a good thing, but still pretty good. Alright, we are not going to start making use of the fertile zone just yet. Let's get some basic things grown over here to start off with. Actually, let's start with our power. So if we can build a wind turbine. One, two, three. So we'll get a wind turbine going here. Okay. And what we're going to do is orders. Just cut all the plants here for now. And then we can override that with wood chopping for the things that are wood choppable. And that will get that going. What is this? Bamboo tree. Alright, so that will keep our people busy for the moment. Provide a little bit more wood for our engineer to do his thing. And then once we've got all that cut down, we can stick some growing areas in there and do that accordingly, and also have power at the same time. Let us pop a little bit of power circuitry in there, and we can add our light. And where is the light? Is it the furniture? Yes. And the lamp. No, we'll put it there. It should be in reach at that point. Right, so growing zone. I'm going to leave this on as potatoes because they tolerate the sandy soil the best. Love potatoes. However, for this area, we are going to do a line of rice. Where's rice? Where are you, rice? As you can see, there's a few extra things in here that come with some of the mods. Not too much though at this point. We are going to have a line of, I think, let's make it cotton. We are going to have a line of, let's make it heel root, because we need those low-end meds to come in. Where are you, heel root? I always find it so hard to read this. Heel root? Heel root, heel, there we go, heel root. Do we have any? We don't have any berry plants or anything like that, which sucks, because the earlier we can get some fruit going. Let's grow something nutritionally significant like corn. This is our rice. We can make the rice a bit bigger. This is our cotton. We can make the cotton a bit bigger. And this is our corn. Let's just make the corn bigger for now. Right, so that is our grown. We've got quite a bit of food that will potentially come in when we are ready for it. We'll need to set up, we'll build our fridge on this side, just carve it into the mountain there. It's probably the best approach actually. 1, 2, 3, so yeah, so he's well in there. 1, 2, 3. And we can put our first cooler that way. Right, cover and shooting. Thanks, guys. Okay, so for one day we haven't done badly at all. We've built ourselves some protection here, some defenses. We do need to take down a few more trees. Let's get all of these up. How are we doing for wood? Terribly. I suppose we did build 4 beds out of it. You need quite a bit of wood for that. I've got any more trees in the immediate place that are ready to be cut down? Not really. Ah, there's one. Alright, so we are in the jungle biome, which means that's why there's quite dense foliage. There's quite a lot of animals. Fortunately, it comes with quite a few illnesses. On the plus side, there is no cold winters, so we don't have to be too worried about stacking up food for the winter. But we do need to stack up medicines because our people are going to get sick. And yeah, there's our preparations. And they've all gone to bed. Right. Next thing we need is to start getting some learning in, because we need our lads to start paying for his own presence. We'll just stick him in here for now. And we'll be nice and give him a stool as well to sit on. What have we got here? Alright, we can start harvesting these. Get that fruit in there. And I am content we have quite a good starting point. Let's get these things hauled. Just so they're out of the way, tidy up the place a bit. Chop that wood. Chop that wood. And wait for our first couple of panicky disasters to happen. Possibly our first, set of prisoners to convert and all of that kind of thing, if they are worth it. There's some steel over there. It's bloody miles away. In fact, this whole long thing is going to be in the way a bit. I might have to punch a hole through there and put a door in so we can go through quickly, like over here somewhere, so we can go through quicker, and yet attacking enemies need to go around. Oh, no embraces or anything like that. The sacrifices I make for not having all of the mods. Okay, yeah, some mods. So we've got VGP, which is more about kind of growing healthy things. We can also plant soil in places that don't normally have good soil, like in holes underground and that, which is what I often do, is kind of tunnel my way underground. Are these graves all full already? Good heavens. We've apparently found dead bodies everywhere. A few more graves there. Right, so the other mod that we have, which is the biggest of the mods, is called Save Our Ship, which is the vanilla game. When you end it, you sort of fight for a while, eventually get to an ending, and then your colonists escape or whatever, and then the colony either just continues or it doesn't. Did they not have silver that they landed with? I must have taken silver out of the mod pack. Well, it's fine, they're doing fine. So yeah, what Save Our Ship does is add a whole new layer of things that can happen. We have the ability to build a ship. We have the ability to sort of go into space, as it were, fight space battles, all of that kind of things. That snake is making me very worried. Yeah, anyway, Save Our Ship is amazing, and it adds a whole bunch of stuff. I think it's the only major mod that I've added. That and VGP, and then a couple of I suppose quality of life mods. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting, but if it comes back to me, I'll obviously bring it up. So we have food, so I guess we need to start mining. Okay, so bits of spacecraft are still landing from the ship that we were on. Okay, miners, get to mining. Oh, we have a very nice mod for adding prosthetics, like arms of various different quality, that can get pretty intense. I'm going to have to run power over there, don't I? yeah, so so we can eventually turn all of our people into high performance cyborgs, which can be a lot of fun. Another one of these, which is something that we're going to get to, because that's how we survive. It's by modifying our bodies, possibly even taking our sort of community religion to a what would you call it, like transhumanist state. You are a night owl, so what we want to do is adjust your schedule. When are you going to sleep? Let's make your sleeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can do whatever you want during the night. Alright, so he gets upset if he's like awake during the day. Not very upset, but it is nice to have every bit of skill that we can. What we should also be doing actually is building some shelves, because it makes the people happier when the area is cleaner. Have you got anything from that deconstruction? Why is there a tortoise inside? He's probably eating my food. Gotta be careful with tortoises, they can be actually startlingly tough. This one's 148 years old. Should we try to tame him? Is it a he? Or is it a she? No, female. Tame her. Can you do it? Can we have a pet tortoise? Hey, we have a pet tortoise. Alright. Who has now escaped into the wild. Great. We didn't need to, but we now have a tortoise. I'm sure one of them will name it at some point. Can we train it at all? No. It can't do anything other than stump around being a tortoise. But I mean, that's the sort of thing people do when they're sort of castaways, as we sort of are. They find some kind of local wildlife, tame it, make friends to it, share a bit of the food that they don't really have. It's a part of the whole thing. You can harvest those as well. It's a nice safe bit down there. Let's have a look at the wildlife that we have. We have boomalopes. Boomalopes can be quite useful to tame. We have alpacas, which are very useful to tame. That's bloody miles away though. Do you have anything closer? It's the boomalopes. Let's chop a bit more wood, so we can build a fence for a wildlife area, because this will be quite an amazing wildlife area. I mean, look how that's pretty flush and fertile there. Some slag chunks. You see, that doesn't have any roofing there, so that's probably an area that can be unlocked. But for now, we have a nice area. How long I've been playing for? Another 5 or 10 minutes before we call this newly resurrected episode to an end. Okay, so if we build some fences, I think it's under structure. fence gates. One there, one there. Right, so we don't have guest beds. This is okay. That's part of the hospitality hospitality mod, which expands on the idea of guests a bit. All right. Boomalopes. Do we have a younger one? Oh. Do we have any other that are a bit closer? Oh, over there. What do we have? Edge 2. Female edge 2. Yeah, that's what we want. I hate the attack on failed taming attempts, but let's see if we can get away with it. Because yeah, I like the younger females because I'm not sure if the males give the boomerang equivalent of milk. Okay, so 18% chance, not bad. What I haven't done is given a research project, and we also need an entertainment project. So let's build a horseshoe pin here that they can play with. And research, what are we going to research? Okay, so you see our research tree is bulked out quite a bit more. Could start researching down our road of better research, the better research. There's our anomaly, but we haven't unlocked that. We can give animals prosthetics. We can give ourselves complex prosthetics. This is the Save Our Ship research thing, which is all of the different technologies that we can use to build our awesome vessel and take it into space. RT mods, this is just a nice quality of life one that I added because it gets rid of the stupid short circuits that set fire to your base at a cost, obviously. And then vegetable garden, this is our VGP one. We can research some quite hectic things to manufacture, and research plants, which I quite like. So we're not entirely bound by the amount of resources that the ship has on them, that the map has on it. Well, let's start just doing those for now. Ground things is our tortoise. We should build the tortoise a bed, should we not? Animal bed, animal bed. Where is the animal bed? Where's the box? That's the, there we go, animal sleeping box. You can sleep inside with us. We haven't quite tunneled all this out yet, but we're getting there. We should be attacked soon. What I do need to do is build another building that we can lock someone in. 1, 2, 3. I like to leave 3 wide spaces. Nice big prison. I built that out of a steel door. God, that was a waste, but alright, fine. I clearly wasn't concentrating when I did that. Oh well, I mean, I suppose this is intended to be a prison, so that's appropriate. And let us build another bed in here. Where's the bed? Wooden bed. Maybe I'd run out of wood at that point. Just didn't notice it. Stupid. Slapped myself on the head. But we do have some steel over there that I noticed. And there'll be a lot more buried in this mountain in various places that we'll tunnel our way to eventually. Oh, we have a mad monkey. Where are you going, mad monkey? You're making your way around to us. Heat stroke already. Oh wow, it is really hot out there. Alright. I can build one of these. Who has heat stroke? Oh, 2 people. Where's our engineer? Are you our engineer? Yes, you are. Let's prioritize on that, yeah? Where's that stupid monkey? Here it comes. Okay, that should hopefully cool things down. Let's draft you. You can go there for the moment. Uh-oh. Oh. Good. Oh, okay. Well, good job, guys. Sorry, monkey. Cool. Yeah, so after that exciting interlude, I have completely forgotten what I was going to say. But yes, so we can get a little bit cooler in there, not very. I hadn't realized this area got quite that hot. It's going to make this a bit trickier as well. How's the roofing looking there? Well, on the plus side, our fridge is all under the overhead mountain. I don't want a steel door there, thank you. Alright, out of wood, which you wouldn't have thought considering the sheer volume that is around here. How is their gear? 7 to 30. Alright, so 30 is about the top. And this is just spring. Alright, so temperatures are going to be a problem. Great. So I better get that solar power researched. Yeah, so let's forget the agriculture. Let's just get solar power up and running. So we can do some this is a mechanoid solar generator. 50 watts in space. Huh. Alright, well anyway, we'll learn how to do that, build a solar generator, and that should give us enough for some cooling here. And you know what? I think that is enough for one evening. So we have our challenges. We have various dangerous creatures wandering around that we need to ward off. We have one that we're trying to tame and stick in our pen over here. That should feed quite a few. It's got a consumption of 10. We'll pick up a couple more as well after that, and hopefully use the goods from them to build ourselves some anti-heat clothing, like a good hat of some sort. Oh, our tortoise are happy. Our room is being cooled by that, but it does consume wood at a fairly rapid rate. So we better cut some more wood down. Oh, we have a ship chunk right there that we'll deconstruct shortly. Time failed again. 22% chance. Oh well. Yeah, working on it. Alright. So yeah, so we need to do some cooling. Work that out. Still counts as outdoors. But we're working on that. And then at least we'll have a good starting point once we have our fridge working and our solar power up and running. But until that time, we'll continue with this next week, Wednesday. So thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to click like if you did. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing here. Don't forget to subscribe if you did. And above all, please leave me some comments so I know that you guys liked what you liked. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.